Hi, and welcome to the Ask Dr. Angela show with everyone's favorite OBGYN, Dr. Angela Jones. Have you ever been just too embarrassed or shy to ask your own doctor a question about your, private stuff? Well, you have come to the right place to get straight answers. Feel free to ask Dr. Angela anything women's health related. OBGYN, she keeps it real. Pregnancy, she knows what you're expecting. Whole body health, just ask. Dr. Angela has you covered, girl. And now here is Dr. Angela.
Booyah! What's good, people? This is Dr. Angela, everyone's self-proclaimed favorite OBGYN, and I would like to officially welcome you to episode 90 of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. Is it just me, or are you ever truly amazed at the random facts that you acquire throughout the course of the day? Let me give you an example. I learned just today that not only on Pinterest can you garner design ideas for baby's room or, recipes, whatever you want. Pinterest is one of these places where creativity is all over the place. People are doing all kinds of amazing things, cake decorating, knitting, the list goes on and on. But little did I know that you could also find solutions to getting rid of lesions or bumps on your vulva. One of my young patients recently shared this with me, and I've got to tell you, I was really in awe. I mean, who knew? Pinterest for home projects, Pinterest for medical advice. That's a real eyebrow raiser for me. So, let's jump right into today's topic. I have to say that I had the esteemed pleasure of making a new acquaintance this week. I've got some new friends over at lifezet.com. My new contact over there is Miss Deidre. Miss Deidre reached out to me after having listened to one of our now 89 podcasts, because we're currently doing podcast number 90. And she reached out to me and she posed this question. How important are condoms in the prevention of STIs? That stands for sexually transmitted infections, no matter what other form of contraception one is using. This question was, of course, prompted due to a new CDC report that came out this past week stating that girls are not using condoms as they should for protection since they are now using more contraception in the form of LARCs. LARCs stand for long-acting reversible contraception. Those are going to be better known to you as IUDs, implantable devices, etc. Miss Deidre, that actually is a really excellent question. And certainly the increased use in the LARCs or long-acting reversible contraceptive options, i.e. IUDs and implantable devices, are having a huge impact on things like a declining teen pregnancy rate. And the reason behind that is when you take compliance out of the equation, i.e. someone's ability to use their birth control as directed, with things like the IUD and the implantables, once they're in, they're in. So when you take compliance out of the equation, things like teen pregnancy are going down, 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 which again is amazing. To answer your question though, I don't care what type of birth control you're using, whether it's the IUD, an implantable, Depo-Provera, the pill, the diaphragm. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You need to be using condoms every time. I'm going to say that again, every time. A lot of times I find that my young people think that, oh my gosh, I'm on the pill now. I don't have to worry about getting pregnant. That's only part of what you don't have to worry about. What about STIs? Sexually transmitted infections. That's what that stands for. The list of things. I always call them the good stuff that's not good. Do you need me to run the list? I'm happy to run the list. Gonorrhea, chlamydia, herpes, HIV, syphilis. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And of just those few that I mentioned, there is no cure for herpes or HIV. So, you would best be careful. As much as I hate to say it, I feel like I'm making a phone call at least once a week telling someone that they have gonorrhea or chlamydia. You think I enjoy making these phone calls? No. I mean, this is kind of how it goes. This is Dr. Angela. Oh, by the way, I just called to tell you that you had gonorrhea or chlamydia. I hate those kinds of phone calls. But anyway, now that I've gotten off of my soapbox, condoms every time. Because remember, things like IUDs, implantables, whether it's Implanon or, another type of implantable, birth control pills, the list goes on and on with regards to the various options that are available for contraception. However, you got to use condoms because that, again, helps to prevent you from getting the good stuff that's not good. And again, when you start getting these sexually transmitted infections, they are not without consequences further down the line. I think that we just recently did a podcast on gonorrhea and chlamydia and the issues that may result or the consequences that may result from acquiring such things. So Deidre, thank you so much for submitting that question to me. And I'm really happy to hear that you all are enjoying my podcast. And surprisingly enough, they asked me actually to be one of their OBGYN experts. So I'm always happy to provide my 2 cents. But, I can never usually give 2 cents. I'm always going to give you at least 5, 10. So, Ms. Deidre, thank you so much for reaching out and submitting your question to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. Hopefully, I answered it satisfactorily. If you happen to have a question or, an idea or a topic that you would like featured in the podcast, please reach out to me. I'm literally all over the place. You can reach me on Twitter at Dr. Angela OBGYN, or you can reach me on Facebook, Ask Dr. Angela, or you can hit me up on my webpage, www.askdrangela, that's AskDrangela.com. So you can email me, you can direct message me. If you go to the webpage, click on the microphone on the right-hand side of the page and do what you do. If we happen to feature your question in the podcast, someone from my team will reach out to you and we will send you one of our bomb-ass t-shirts. So, Ms. Deidre, I will be reaching out to you to get your information so that we can send you one of our amazing t-shirts. In closing, I'd like to have you ponder on this question. Are you making your own story or reading someone else's? Food for thought. Life is a story. Make yours the bestseller. Until next time, look better, feel better, be better. Thank you so much for tuning into today's podcast. I am so looking forward to reconnecting on episode 91.
Thank you for listening to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. For more information on women's health and the show notes for this episode, please visit Dr. Angela at www.askdrangela.com. While you're there, don't forget to leave your own message for Dr. Angela. See you soon! All of the information provided and discussed in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and should not take the place of consulting a physician. This podcast is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases or illnesses and does not and should not replace treatment for a medical professional. Listening to and participating in this podcast does not create a doctor-patient relationship between you and Dr. Angela Jones. If you need medical advice or assistance, you should consult a physician. Listening to and participating in this podcast is subject to the terms and conditions posted at drangela.com/terms.